Chasen, and I'm going to tell you guys about the day that means the most to me. That day happened sometime in late November of 2011. On that day, a skateboard distribution was going to have a big sale for Christmas, and I promised my nephew that I would go there and buy him a skateboard for Christmas. But the night before, my friend called me and asked me what I was going to do that day. I told him and asked him if he wanted to come. He said, yeah, and let's go skate around there too. I said okay, and then I decided to call my nephew so he could pick out his stuff and come with us. My nephew Jacob is only 6 years old. I called him and asked him, and he said yeah. The next day we drove to his house, picked him up, and we were off to Carlsbad. I didn't realize how far Carlsbad actually was until I drove for an hour and a half and realized that I had 30 more minutes to go. It seemed especially long since Jacob hardly said 2 words the whole way there, and Kevin was blasting rockabilly music the whole way. They weren't talking for about 15 minutes until we actually got there. And they finally talked about the one thing that all guys talk about, and that's girls. They talked about how Jacob was only 6 years old and he had a girlfriend. Now Kevin just broke up with his. They also talked about every girl that we passed by. We finally got to the distribution and waited in line for another 30 minutes. We couldn't believe it. We drove for 2 hours and we had to wait in line for another 30 minutes. When we got there, we picked out our stuff and left. Then we went to go to McDonald's and eat, and then we went to go to Carlsbad Skate Park. After that, we went to a spot over in San Clemente, skated there for a little bit, left, and then we decided to go to the green handrail across the street from the high school, on the corner over there. We skated there for like an hour and a half, and then we were about to pack our stuff and get ready to leave, and then a cop pulled up. I just ignored him because I hate dealing with cops. Everything you say is wrong. My dad's a cop, so. And then, so we're packing our stuff up. I just ignore him, and then Kevin's talking to him. He just makes it worse. He's talking back. He's cursing. I just said forget it, and I talked to the cop. I told Jacob to get in the back of the car. He ran in the back with fear in his eyes. I could tell he was scared. We talked, and I tried to make it better by saying that we weren't even skating. We just got here, and we'd never been in Fullerton before, so we just wanted to walk up and down the street, see what it was like. I said, hey, it's a nice city you got here. He said, oh yeah, but you're lying. I know. I saw you guys when you pulled up, and I stayed here the whole time and waited till you guys were getting ready to leave. I couldn't believe it. He called my bluff. Then, let's see. Oh yeah, and then he was writing our tickets. I couldn't believe it. I was going to get a ticket. My 3rd one this month. Or forget that month. 3rd one in 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it. My mom was going to kill me. That's the first thing that went in my head. After that, we got in the car, and me and Kevin just looked at each other in disbelief. We couldn't believe we got a ticket for $300. Kevin kept saying, I want to cry, I want to cry. I started laughing, and I looked back at Jacob and asked him if he was scared. He said, yeah, I was scared. I thought I was going to have to drive your car all the way to my house. I thought you guys were going to get arrested. We started to laugh, and then we drove to Taco Bell and ate, and I took him home. For me, that day was a day that means a lot to me because I got to show Jacob, my nephew, what I do almost like every day. All I do is skate and show him a little bit of who I am. And ever since that day, we've been like a little closer.